So say a bit about yourself.
I'm Dave Edwards from a charity called the Sport for Street Initiative. I created the charity 4 years ago to engage young people in sport and activity, mainly focusing on people who aren't already taking part in a lot of sports. So myself, I grew up about 200 yards from this place here, and all I do every single day was skate. I used to skate everywhere, and that's all I did.
Oh.
I wasn't very good at sport, but I used to skate everywhere.
Cool.
And that's it. That's me. And I found that was my sport, and that was great for me. I wasn't very good at football or cricket, but skating was the thing for me, and I wanted to offer those types of opportunities for the young people.
Um, who are the other people, and what job do they have, and like what do they do?
Within the charity, so we're a registered charity. So I'm the charity manager, and I oversee all the staff and all the volunteers. So we've got a number of staff who are coaches and trainers, and then we have volunteers underneath them who assist us with sessions and run clubs and all sorts. We also have a board of trustees above me. So there's a group of trustees who decide the direction of the charity. They make sure that the charity abides by the law and the way that they operate, and they also decide how the charity is going to do work and target more young people and engage the community and encourage everyone to participate in sport and activity, but also to change communities and make sure people are engaged in first aid courses or training and seeking opportunities to try new things. So they decide all those things as well, and then I do the work. I do the management of the charity.
Okay. What do you do really? Like, yeah, what do you do?
So my role specifically, so we're quite a small charity, so everything falls onto my lap. So for example, a normal day, I'll be getting up responding to emails. I have to make sure that the vehicles are all working, so we have a fleet of 3 vehicles, they're all working and sorted out. The staff know what they're doing, they know when they're supposed to be in, what sessions are there, booking courts and booking halls, paying for them, making sure all the invoices go out, making sure all the marketing is done, making sure that the website is designed, making sure the vehicles are designed. So everything you see on the van here has been designed and funded and implemented by myself, and then training staff, making sure they fill in their session sheets so I know who's been to what sessions, who's done what, if there's been any incidents. I do an awful lot, but my other focuses are, making sure that our projects are really good, making sure they're good quality, so that the things we're doing really do affect the lives of young people and the people that are taking part in the activities. Also make sure that we've got more and more projects coming in, so that we can spread our knowledge and experience as wide as possible.
So, like, explain more about your vans and how they got to be here.
Okay, good question. So the vans are, okay, we set out to make sure we had these cool vehicles, and the reason for it was this. We work in communities and areas where it's tricky to operate. So I've done sports development projects for years and years. Since I was 16, I worked on sports development projects, and some years, the first year we did it, we had an old estate car, and it was rubbish, and we stuffed as much kit into the back of it, put the hockey sticks on the roof of it and goals, and then we tied a tarpaulin from the side of the car to a fence so that we were sheltered if it rained. And then we had vans which we did the same for, and we never quite found the perfect vehicle. So when I set the charity up, when we knew we were going to be doing a lot of sports development work and working in areas where we've got sport courts, or we might be in a wooded area for laser tag, or we might be doing a handball competition, or we might be doing a skate park project, we needed a sheltered area because we live in England, it rains. So the van here, what we set up to do was, inside the van is a mobile youth centre. It's set up to be a mobile youth centre. So when you go in, there's computers, there's TVs on the walls, there's everything you need to do to run a fun, great activity session if it's downpouring. But also, we've got this awning that pops out, and it comes out 3.5 meters. So we've essentially got three areas for young people. We've got the inside area where we can house about 14 to 20 young people if they really squish, but if they're doing positive activities and we're smart about it, they can do that. We've got the side of the vehicle, not this side, the other side of the vehicle, which has got a TV which goes on the outside. We've also got the sound system, so we've got an area here which is towards the van facing an area where we can get about 8 to 10 young people playing PlayStation or doing something constructive on the side. Then we've also got the awning which pops out, which means we can got outward facing activity as well. So if you wanted to do things like target games or archery or football golf or frisbee golf or something like that, something facing outwards, we can get another 10 to 20 people there as well. So it means that there's 3 different spaces on such a small vehicle that it's very easy to do. Okay, so that's why we have this one. We've got a minibus, which is just a regular school minibus, but the young people we were working with said they needed it to be a graffitied minibus. So we went out and found a young artist, local artist, who graffitied it for us. He did just a custom job on it. It looks really cool, so it's got this graffiti all over it. And then we've got a TV DVD player, which is about 15-inch, which goes on the middle, so when we're doing long journeys, people can watch DVDs, but also we use it for our skate trips. So when we do skateboard tours, BMX tours, and they're doing filming, they will all be editing their films. So we plug their cameras in, they've been filming all day on, and they delete or save different failed video clips, for example. So they'll do that on, we've done some tours out to London and all the way back, they'll just be editing video clips. So that's a cool thing. It's got a good sound system on there as well. And then we've got our smaller van, which is just a hockey specific van. So that's just filled to the roof with roller hockey kit, because we're doing so much roller hockey work. It needs its own vehicle, so that's a smaller van, which is a little bit easier to manage. And that just goes out and does the hockey stuff. Also, that's gone back to the roots. That's got the tarpaulin awning, but we don't use it so much. So yeah, that's the vehicles in a nutshell.
So why did you decide to do this charity?
So the reason for it was this. I mean, I've worked with councils, I've worked with other charities, I've worked in leisure management, I've worked in a number of different jobs where I was good at it. I just didn't. I needed to do something which gave out. So really, for me, the reason I did it was I wanted to spark interest in young people like I had. So when I was going back to introducing myself, when I said, I used to skate around this area playing hockey and skating, that really interested me, and from that it's led to this kind of lifetime of teaching sport and inspiring young people, and I just wanted to give back to that. So the whole point of the charity was to go out and infuse young people with different activities. So not the regular football, tennis, cricket, rugby. It was to go out and find skateboarding, scootering, street hockey, rock climbing, anything that's completely different that you don't get the opportunity to do at school, and try and get you to try that out. So that's what I wanted to do, and by doing that I knew that there'd be a load of young people who just aren't into sport. My view is they just haven't found the right sport for them yet. So I met you, Eddie, when we went to your school and we did a street hockey project.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of sport before that?
No, I hated.
And now we can't get rid of you, Eddie. You're at every single session. You love it. So you're the reason why we started this charity. You're a young lad who's kind of interested in sport, but not quite sure with what sport it is. And then we've got you into something. You've tried it, and now you absolutely love it. And then you come to your volunteering section of your GCSE, and you want to support the charity and do other things. I couldn't think of a better result, so that's why we started doing. That's why I started doing.
So I decided to join because I really loved rollerblading. So then I just decided, like, oh, there's hockey but on rollerblades. That seems cool. And then I came to your club, and like when I went to A9, I couldn't find like any other places. So I went to ice hockey, but then I hit my head on something really hard, and that was painful. So then I found the sports for streets again.
Mm.
So then I just went to your clubs.
Yeah, and it's there for you to just pick up and drop off at any time you like. But it's you, like I said, you've done really well and you're enjoying it. But like I said, it's a sport you never heard of. You'd never heard of roller hockey before.
Nope.
You liked skating, but you'd never heard of roller hockey. So we showed you, look, this is a cool sport that you can do. Off you go. let's get you into it. And so like I said, a good result, and it's inspiring young people, which is exactly what we want to do, and that's why we do what we do.
And also you offer free equipment, and that's a really big advantage.
Yeah, so we do try and make it easy for you. So we have a huge lockup full of equipment, and these vehicles change over daily. So right now we've got some camera equipment, we've got floodlights in there, we've got some multi-sports equipment. Tomorrow we may go out and have a mobile skate park, which fills up to the roof, and we'll build a mobile skate park. The next day we might have a climbing wall, so we'll bring out the smaller vehicle and we'll drag the climbing wall along. The following day we may be doing a roller hockey session, so we'll fit this full of roller hockey equipment and then go to a school, for example, and do roller hockey. So we load different equipment in there, and we try and make it so that young people don't have to spend anything. If it's as cheap as possible, then there's no barrier to you getting involved. If it's free, even better. So if you can work with a council or a housing association or a sports partnership to make the activities free, then that means that there's absolutely no one around who can't say, I just can't afford to play that, I can't afford to try it. We want to make sure that it is accessible to anyone to try, whatever the sport.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All good?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks very much, Eddie.